everyone, it's Shel C from PaperOcotilloStudio, and today I'm sharing with you day 18 of hashtag Art Journal Habit 2018 month-long daily art journaling challenge brought to you by Art Joy of Sharing Facebook group. Day 18 prompt is depend. You can see where I'm going with it probably when you look at my old lady having a good time graphic over there that I cut out of some sort of a magazine or something. I think the article was about people stealing the identities of elderly people, but she's having a great time and she was so funny. I just had to cut her out and keep her in my stash of magazine cutouts to use for collage. So for my background, I decided to do a real, the old style of mixed media. Lots of layers, lots of interest in the background. I'm just going to put the lady on there, so I wanted to make the background interesting. So since she's an older woman, I started with silver because, the silver hair, whatever. And that's the PBO Dynapaint. And I used a silicone brush tool. It's like a paintbrush except for it's got silicone, and I just kind of scraped some silver and then also some of the PBO gold paint on, and then I scratched through it to make some interesting random marks with the end of a skewer just for fun while I was still wet, and dried it up. And then I have this I think it's called an arabesque stencil, and I'm using that with a combination of titanium white acrylic paint and Dina Wakley's blushing colored paint, which is kind of a coral color. The colors I'm sticking with are the ones that are in the magazine clipping. You don't want to go crazy with color. You want to pick a few colors and stick with them. And I didn't want anything super bright because it's going to overwhelm my little picture. So I'm pasteling out these paint colors using titanium white with them. I also have this kind of scribble stencil, which just makes interesting patterns, and I use that with the evergreen Dina Wakley paint mixed with some titanium white to make it kind of a pastel green. My color choices were kind of gray, silver, and the green and the pink. Those are my three. And then I got the gold in there, which kind of warmed it up a little bit. But the three colors I picked were, I want to use gray, silver, and then the light pink and the light green. Those were my first choices. And then I got a little bit away from that when I started to play around. But that's my base anyway. So the next thing I want to do, my next layer is going to be some collage. Got my acrylic paint on there, got my stenciling. Now it's time for collage. This first piece is some deli wrap paper that's been printed with a newsprint. It's just a scrap that I used the other day and it was still laying on my desk, so I grabbed it. And then I have this scrap of like a French script scrapbook paper. Is a 12 by 12 piece of scrapbook paper, still sticking kind of with these neutral colors and light colors, not wanting to overwhelm my magazine cutout. So I put those on. I'm using the Dina Wakley matte medium because I want to use it up, and that's what was sitting there next to me. So it's almost empty, and I won't be buying it again. It's not the right consistency for what I like. I prefer the Liquitex matte gel medium. So I bought it, I tried it out, and I decided that I would stick with the Liquitex. But I do need to use it up there. I don't want to waste it. So that's what I'm using for my collaging. So then this is just a scrap of deli paper that has some spray on it. I was using stencils at some point, and they get wet with the spray, and I just tip them over, press them down onto deli paper to get rid of the wetness on the stencil, and that's what that is. It's just random, neutral paper that was in my bin. So then I get out some watering can gray archival ink and use this Harlequin background stamp to add more interest. That's my next layer. So you can see this is just a process of layering, and this is what mixed media, the classic mixed media is. This is what people think of, you know, making a canvas or a page using a lot of layers of different things. So this is a napkin, and I wanted some sort of a flower. So I was looking for like a pastel rose, but I couldn't find anything like that. So I found this lighter colors with the kind of coral colors in these tulips. Decided to use that. And I'm going to use the Deco Art napkin medium. I don't know what they put in this stuff, but it's magical. It works. I have trouble with napkins. They always get torn and bubbly, and I did tear this a couple times, but because I put too much of the medium on there and then I was messing with it. But when this dries, somehow it magically flattens the napkin out. So they've always been bumpy in the past, and now they're flat. I'm happy with that stuff, and I don't know what the difference is. It doesn't seem any different than like a regular fluid medium, but it has something in it that flattens those napkins out. So I'm of course using a water brush to cut out the napkins that I want. I just want the tulip, the two-colored tulip, and not the bright pink one, because the bright pink one doesn't match my color scheme. So put those on there. Happy with that. Next layer is going to be some washi tape. So I'm grabbing a couple of the colors that I wanted. There's this gray one. So these have been sent to me in Happy Mail by 2 different people. If you want to do like one of those pocket letters or something like that, this is a fun way to share some of your washi tape without sending a whole wrapping of it. You can just wrap it around something, and then, like in the case of this one on the left, once that washi tape is off of it, I can use it as a scraper too. This other one is a piece of wood. It's like a wood tag, so I'll be able to use that as a wood tag element at some point when I get all the washi tape off of it. So it's a fun thing to send to someone in Happy Mail, and you don't have to send them a whole roll of washi tape. You can just share some of your hoarding of washi tape, because you know we all do it. We see it at the store. We're like, man, that's so cute. I have to have it. It's just cute. I don't know why it's so cute, but it just is. So then I have this one that's got some gold stripes on it and a little pink hearts, and I decided to put a little bit of that on there too to lighten it up a little bit. And this one is tissue tape. It was a product made by Canvas Corp Brands back in the day, and it has a backing you have to peel off. It's like tissue paper with sticky back in a tape form. So use a little bit of that. Pretty happy with my washi tape situation now, so I'm going to move to the next thing, which is I just got these from Peg as a gift. They're distress crayons, and I've never used them before, and I like them actually. They are a lot more creamy than like the scribble sticks, and I can blend it with my finger, which I thought was pretty fun. So I use those here and there for some fun, adding some patches of color to my background. I'm liking my background. I think it's pretty fun. I know it's kind of hard to see it on the video, but of course there will be close-ups at the end. So here's my magazine cutout. I'm not going to be real fussy about how I'm cutting it out. I'm just trimming around, leaving like 1/8 of an inch of the white border around so that I don't have to like cut it right up to the line, because they're very fine lines on the illustration. So it would be a pain in the booty to cut out. Plus there's, you know, little pieces hanging off like the little dollar bills and stuff. So that was the best way. So the glue that I've decided is the best for gluing down magazine cutouts is Yes Glue. And it's a paste. It's low, it doesn't have a lot of water in it. In fact, it may have no water in it. I'm not sure. But it doesn't curl the magazine paper. I've something I've always had problems with, and I'm just amazed at how many different formulas of glue there are. Another option, if you don't have Yes Glue, would be to use glue stick, which does work for magazine pages. But if you put any type of matte medium or anything on there, then the magazine paper bubbles and looks terrible. So I bought the Yes Glue. It's also great for bookbinding and that type of stuff, and gluing lightweight papers that you want real flat. A lot of bookmakers use it. And it's acid free, so it's safe for that. So then I'm just adding some quick shadows using the cold gray color Faber-Castell artist brush pen around my image to kind of integrate it into the page. And then I just have some things to print on my brother P-Touch to put on there, and this page will be done. I hope you enjoyed the page. You might get a giggle out of the words that I'm going to put on there. Oh yeah, I put some silver splatters on there using a silver Posca pen. Just, you know, flicking the pen to make some silver splatters just to bring that silver back, because most of it got covered up by all the subsequent layers that happened. Because layers happen. So if you've enjoyed this, please give it a thumbs up, leave me a comment, subscribe, turn on your notification bells. You can pin this or share it on Facebook with somebody if you think it's funny. And yeah, that would be awesome. So the words say, I always depend, and then you think it's going to be on the kindness of strangers, right? I always depend on the kindness of strangers. No, it says, I always depend on the kindness of my depends to have a good time. And for those of you who aren't American, Depends is a brand of underwear or pads that you wear if you laugh too much and accidentally pee. Yeah, that's what they're for. So she's an old lady, you know. Get it? Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.